Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the Chicago Bears are must-watch TV. Let's check this out.
The Bears were going to be one of the most talked about teams heading into this season. That's what happens when you take a quarterback first overall and a wide receiver top 10.
Rome Odunze.
It's a big deal, and everyone,
in my opinion, the best receiver in this draft class. You know what I'm saying? You can don't at me, bro. Like that's exactly what I think, bro. I think he's better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
It's a really cool series HBO does that follows around NFL teams during training camp. It's been a thing since 2001, and 14 different teams have been the focal point. And now the Bears are number 15. Most teams usually don't want to be on Hard Knocks, and that was definitely the case with Chicago. Chairman George McCaskey has been against it for a while, but the Bears were one of 3 teams that were able to be forced to do it. See, there are different criteria that a team has to meet in order to get forced into Hard Knocks. Don't have a first-year head coach, haven't made the playoffs in either of the past 2 seasons, and haven't been on Hard Knocks in the last 10 years. Other than the Bears, the other 2 teams that fit all 3 were the Broncos and Saints. Denver is kind of interesting. The Broncos drafted Bo Nix 12th overall, and Sean Payton is entering year 2 as their head coach. The Saints, I don't really find that interesting. Derek Carr is their quarterback. Dennis Allen is their head coach. There isn't too much of a story there, but the reality is HBO wasn't going to find many teams in football better for Hard Knocks than the Bears. I'm sure it was an absolute no-brainer of a decision. There are a few really good storylines for the Bears coming into this season. They're a team I'm definitely going to be paying a lot of extra attention to, and I think that's going to be the case for a lot of people. And really, that's just why
more than the Bears have ever gotten, like ever, bro. So I think like the last time the Bears were at least decent was like the playoffs in like 2017. When they lost on a double doink or some shit like that
for Hard Knocks. The number
that was last time they were even decent.
To pick the Bears is simple: rookies. It seems pretty obvious that a lot of people, including myself, would watch a look into the first training camp for both Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. They are huge names and guys that could impact the NFL for years to come. That kind of star power is really important for a show like Hard Knocks. Caleb Williams is a big draw, and all eyes will be on him in camp, with or without HBO cameras following him around. The last time a team was on Hard Knocks after taking a quarterback first overall was in 2018 when the Browns drafted Baker Mayfield. Now it's Caleb Williams this time. I don't think he'll have any issues with the attention all being on him. We're talking about a quarterback that was a 5-star recruit. He stole the starting job from Spencer Rattler in Oklahoma, just to then follow his head coach Lincoln Riley to USC, where he then won the Heisman Trophy after he threw for 42 touchdowns, rushed for 10 more. His junior season didn't go quite as well. He had 30 passing touchdowns, rushed for 11. Williams was still very, very good though, and NFL scouts had already seen enough. The Bears sent Justin Fields to the Steelers, and Chicago moved on to Caleb, who was the clear top option in a quarterback-heavy draft. Technically, the most top-heavy quarterback draft of all time, with 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. The pick used on Caleb was originally the Panthers, that they traded for the first overall pick in 2023.
Can't believe they fleeced the Panthers like that, bro.
The Bears did still have their own first-rounder, which was 9th overall, which they used to snag Rome Odunze. He was the 3rd wide receiver off the board after Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Nabers. Odunze was one of the best and biggest names in college football, while catching passes from Michael Penix, who went 1 pick before him to the Falcons. Odunze is coming off of a for sure career best season with 1,640 yards and 13 touchdowns. He was a consensus All-American. The season before the junior, Odunze had 11 yards and 7 touchdowns. Him and Caleb are going to be a ton of fun to watch together and will probably be the focal point of Hard Knocks. Rookies are such a hot topic during camp. So, offensive tackle Karan Amajaji, punter Torrey Taylor, and defensive end Austin Booker should get some screen time too, along with some undrafted free agents. Caleb Williams is the big draw, obviously. Everybody was going to be watching him in camp no matter what. Rome Odunze also helps a lot too, but it's worth pointing out that the Bears weren't actually that bad last season. Usually when a team has the first first
Didn't they go
overall
like
pick
what,
at the
7 and
draft,
10 or
they
some
were the
shit?
worst team in the league. Since it was actually the Panthers selection used on Caleb Williams, it didn't matter how Chicago played. The Bears went 7 and 10, which isn't good, but they weren't complete ass. Granted, Chicago was 2 and 7 after week 9, but finished 5 and 3. I think it was a reasonable improvement from 2022. That was the first season for Matt Eberflus as head coach, and the Bears were really, really bad. They went 3 and 14 and lost 10 straight games to end the season. That's never particularly ideal. The Bears did still finish last in the NFC North this past season, but had the same record as the Vikings. I think Chicago is actually going to be better than Minnesota this season. Losing
for
Kirk
sure.
Cousins is going to hurt, and I don't expect JJ McCarthy
Because
to
the
start
Bears
week
also
one.
brought in
Still,
Keenan
the
Allen.
Bears are far off of the
Already had
Lions,
DJ
who
Moore. They brought in
fresh
D
off of an
Swift,
NFC Championship appearance,
who had his
and
career
the
year at,
Packers with
Philly
Jordan
last year.
Love. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised how many good players are actually on the Bears. No, I don't think this is a playoff team at all, but they have some good players. Rome Odunze is probably wide receiver 3. DJ Moore is the clear number 1 guy. He was traded from the Panthers in that deal to get Bryce Young. He was good in Carolina, and then last season, he had career highs across the board. 96 receptions, 1,364 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And the Bears went and traded a 4th-round pick to the Chargers for Keenan Allen this offseason. He's an 11-year vet with 6 1,000-yard seasons under his belt, and he's not washed yet either. Allen's coming off of a career-high 108 receptions last season, catching passes from Justin Herbert. There are a few pass catchers
That's
ahead
crazy.
of
That is
Odunze,
his,
and Cole Kmet's
career
getting his
high.
catches too. He's coming off of 73 receptions, 719 yards, both career highs. The Bears also signed DeAndre Swift, fresh off of a career best season where he rushed for 1,049 yards on 229 carries in Philadelphia. He added 36 catches for 214 yards. I also selfishly just have to mention Khalil Herbert, one of the other running backs in Chicago. He's been pretty
Underrated.
solid in the pros, and I got to watch him dominate at Virginia Tech when I was there. He's definitely my favorite player in the league right now, so I have to bring him up. Caleb has some good weapons around him, and the offensive line isn't bad either. Right tackle Darnell Wright was the 10th pick last year, and left guard Tevin Jenkins was a 2021 second rounder. Both of them are pretty well known. Jenkins should definitely be a focal point for Hard Knocks, especially since he'll probably be competing to start with Ryan Bates, who the Bears traded
I
a
forgot-
4th rounder to
forgot
the
they,
Bills for
got him
in
now.
March. Right guard Nate Davis is entering his
Nate
second
Davis is
season in
decent.
Chicago on a 3-year, $30 million deal. Another position that should have some competitive juice is going to be left defensive end. Montez Sweat, he's the clear guy on the other side. He's coming off
Didn't
a
they re-sign him
12.5
too?
sack season between Washington and Chicago. I really wanted Sweat back at the 2019 draft, and Washington actually traded up and got him, and they got a 2nd rounder back for him last season. It could really be one of 4 guys playing opposite him. DeMarcus Walker was the starter in 2023, but he'll have to fight for the job against Khalid Kareem, Dominique Robinson, and rookie Austin Booker. There are some other bigger names on the defense viewers will recognize, like
Jalen
linebackers
Johnson.
TJ Edwards, former Hokie,
Tremaine Edmonds,
They
yeah.
both signed with the Bears last offseason and combined for 200
Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker.
tackles last
Tyreek
season.
Stevenson.
Chicago signed safety Kevin Byard, fresh off 10 games with the
Oh,
Eagles. but he spent the
fuck.
rest of
I
his
ain't even
AAU
realize they
career
signed
in
KB.
Tennessee. Cornerback Jalen Johnson is back in Chicago.
Is
after
KB
he
washed
signed
now?
a
'Cause I know he
4-year,
struggled in Philly last year.
$76 million extension 2 days after he was franchise tagged. The defense was a lot better last season than it was in 2022, but it still needs to improve. There are some cool names though. It sounds like safety Jaquan Brisker is really loud and could be a guy featured a lot in Hard Knocks. I also wouldn't be surprised if his backup, Jonathan Owens, gets a bit of screen time because he is married to Simone Biles. There really is
Oh,
just
okay.
no shortage of storylines
That's
for
what's
the
up.
Bears when it comes to this season. This was an absolute slam dunk decision for HBO. No doubt
Yeah.
about it. Now I'm just really excited to watch Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze go through their
I'm excited to
first
see what Rome
camp as
Odunze can do
rookies.
this year, bro.
The hype is going to
For
build
sure.
really fast. I don't believe the hype, but it'll be cool to see. And I'm just really excited to watch Hard Knocks.
Hey,
this
they look
offseason.
good on paper, but you know what I'm saying? Won't know if they put it all together till week 1. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to our channel if you're new. Turn on post notification, get notified whenever I drop another banger video. On the road to 200 subs. So we get there for more banger NFL content like this. And without further, damn that fucking voice crack. Holy shit. Without further ado, I'm out. Gang.